Hey guys, welcome to the video. Salt here. Today we're going to be going over the brand new melee weapon, the Venato Prime. But before we do, let's go over our commenter board. The first commenter of the last video was NomadVO, and the top commenter of the last video was Schmitty6905. And then we have our recent channel supporters of WhoopieWham, Nice Bear, and Colonel06. Thank you so much for your support. Unique and interesting things about the Venato Prime is its unique trait here, where on a status effect, you also inflict a Tau status effect, and this Tau status effect stacks up to 10 times, and each stack gives you 10% multiplicative status chance. The other thing with the Venato Prime is that if wielded by Caliban, you get plus 50% additional combo count chance. All right, let's go over the mods now. We have Voltaic Strike, which is the 60/60 electric mod, and we're using this to trigger our Arcane of Melee Influence. Melee Influence is on a melee electricity status. You have a 20% chance for elemental melee status effects to apply to enemies within 20 meters for 18 seconds. So this allows for melee weapons to have a lot more AoE than they normally would. Galvanized Steel is for critical chance and critical damage. Organ Shatter is for critical damage. Gladiator Might is for critical chance and critical damage. Condition Overload is for flat damage per unique status affecting the target. Gladiator Vice we're going to be using as our attack speed mod. This gives us plus 30% attack speed and 110% critical chance. There's an option here to also go Berserker Fury. Berserker Fury, you won't get any of the critical chance, but you'll get 70% attack speed. They're both pretty good. The weapon, if we look at a blank config here, it does have an above average attack speed, which is why I don't feel like you really need Berserker Fury. You can kind of get away with using the lower attack speed mod of Gladiator Vice and also banking on some extra crit chance in there. But you might want the extra attack speed too, and that's fine. So Gladiator Vice or Berserker Fury, you can decide that yourself. Blood Rush for 440% crit chance. Weeping Wounds for 440% status chance. In the stance slot, there are two options here. There's Stalking Fan and Reaping Spiral. They're both really good. I personally like Stalking Fan's moveset better than Reaping Spiral, but I suggest that you actually try both of these out and see if you like the movesets on one over the other. Now, you will start with the polarization for Stalking Fan already on the weapon, so that's a little bit unfortunate, because if you do like Reaping Spiral better, that means you do have to format out, Stalking Fan or overforma some other slots to be able to fit it. In the Tennokai slot, we're going to be using Discipline's Merit. This enables a Tennokai after every 4 melee hits instead of at random. And then we already went over the Arcane. This is how you build out the new melee weapon, the Venato Prime. I hope you guys liked it, and if you did, consider leaving a like and subscribing for future content. So now we'll have a 5-minute gameplay portion showcasing the weapon, and when that's done, we'll come back to the orbiter and we'll give it our final thoughts. So I'll see you guys again after the gameplay. Okay, we're about to start the 5-minute gameplay portion here, but before we start, I want to go over Stalking Fan's moveset. So if you choose to go Stalking Fan like I am, there's going to be 2 movesets that you're going to be primarily using. The first one is just the basic forward light. It's this one right here. It's got good movement forward. It hits everything around you. It's very consistent. There is just unfortunately no force slashes in this moveset. The other moveset you're going to be using is actually the strongest moveset on Stalking Fan. It also has 1 force slash proc, and that's going to be the forward block. So you're going to block, you're going to move forward, and you're going to hold E, or whatever the console equivalent is. And then you have this one here. And this also has really good movement. As you can see, I'm moving, pretty fast. I'm hitting everything around me. Really nice. The only problem I have with this moveset is there seems to be like a dead zone somewhere in the combo, probably when he does the little leap forward, where a lot of times I find myself missing enemies like right next to me, which is a little bit unfortunate because you will lose DPS because of that. And because of that, I don't think you should spam this all the time, even though like on paper, this is your best moveset, because the paper damage doesn't tell you everything. In practice, that dead zone is going to hurt your DPS. So use the forward block selectively when you know you're going to be hitting those targets. Otherwise, it's okay to just run around with the forward light. All right, let's get into the gameplay here. I'm going to be mixing back and forth between both of those movesets too. I'll probably use mostly the forward light. I'm a pretty lazy player. I like just doing the forward light, but I'll try to use the forward block as well. Also really good tile set here. I'm gonna really try not to waste my heavy attacks like I normally do. I have a hard time where I click my Tennokai button too late, and I'll lose my entire combo that I've saved up on. Sometimes I actually suggest if you're like an older person and you have bad reflexes, there's a Tennokai mod called Opportunities Reach, I think it's called, where it gives you a whole 4 seconds to press your Tennokai button. It's not going to be the most competitive when it comes to DPS, like that's going to be Discipline's Merit or Dreamer's Wrath. But Opportunities Reach is really good if you're just an old dude with bad reflexes, kind of like me, and you press your Tennokai a bit too late a lot of times. It also gives you extra range on your heavy attack too, so it's not like you lose completely by using it. You actually get some extra range out of it as well. When I do these melee runs, I always use one conditional, and that's going to be a pet that primes for me, because pretty much every melee weapon in the game, minus like 1 or 2 types, is going to use a mod called Condition Overload. And for Condition Overload to actually function, you need to be priming for it. So I just use a little pet that does it for me. I have a video out on him if you're interested. It's either the Dirija or the Nautilus. I think both of those will be melee priming builds. Definitely the Dirija though. Check out the Dirija if you're interested in that. Or if you don't know how to build them yet. I think a lot of people know how to build the Dirija primer already. But that'll turn your Condition Overload into doing about 720 to 800% more flat damage. With just the pet, not even like considering other like external things, just the pet's statuses. Which is a lot. That's a lot of extra flat damage just from the pet. Let's throw some more of these forward blocks in. So basically, the whole shtick of this weapon is that you get multiplicative status chance. That's pretty much what the Tau status comes down to. You get multiplicative status chance. Really nice. It works for a few different things. Like if you didn't want to do a melee influence build, I'm pretty sure it'll work for Afflictions. I know one of our commenters, NanoSquid, was talking about that. I'm sure an Afflictions build is quite good with this weapon. I personally don't like Afflictions builds, but that's just me personally. I just don't like how they're sometimes inconsistent versus overguarded enemies. But yeah, this weapon could be, though, a really good combo with an Afflictions build. It's good for melee influence because you're getting more of those electrics. Anything that is kind of status heavy. So we are at 4 minutes, 20 seconds. We have the Acolyte coming. Nope, he knocked me over. That's all right. Get him out of here. Oh my goodness, we're flying. You know, the Ghoul Saw has a, I think it's the heavy attack in the Ghoul Saw. No, you know, it's not the heavy attack. It's like one of the, I think it might be the forward block. It's very similar to this forward block where you're kind of spinning around. It reminds me of the Ghoul Saw when I'm doing this. All right, let's get these Thraxes down. Influence might have killed them already. I know they were in their corporeal form or ghost form, whatever it's called. All right, that's one. All right, that's two. So 5 minutes in, 440 kills, 443 to be exact. So let's go back to the Orbiter here and we'll give our final thoughts on the weapon. Welcome back to the Orbiter, guys. So let's give our final thoughts on the Venato Prime. It's a really cool weapon. It has a cool trait there where you get multiplicative status chance. Just consider though, that you yourself don't technically get the multiplicative status chance. It is the enemy that gets debuffed that gets multiplicative status chance applied to him. And so it's easy to maybe mistakenly think, oh, my character is just running around with 100% multiplicative status chance. It's really good. But instead, a lot of times what's happening is you're hitting these like trash enemies or even like the Eximus enemies, and they're dying in a few hits where they're really only being affected by like 20% multiplicative status chance before they go down, which is still good. It's still really a good thing, but a lot of times you're not going to be at that full 100% multiplicative status chance potential unless it's a bigger enemy that can stack statuses that high. So just consider that probably really big, thick enemies, maybe Thraxes, even Thraxes, though you might have a hard time getting to 10 on, are going to be the ones that you get your full potential out of this weapon. I think this weapon's really good. I still don't think, though, that its unique trait pulls it up enough to be competitive with some of the most powerful melee weapons in the game. I think a lot of the Incarnon melees are still going to completely dumpster this, but I don't think it's too far off, though. I think it's kind of like right under those Incarnon melee weapons in the game. It's definitely a great weapon, just not the meta top tier stuff. So that's my take. Tell me what you guys think. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. All right, bye.